How's it going, everybody? Welcome to the Positive Mindset Podcast, where we work together to raise our vibration, lift our perspective, and build a positive mindset. My name is Henry, and in this episode, we're going to talk about how to grow the positive energy within you. If you are someone that wants to expand, if you want to feel and see positive frequency within your life, this is going to be the episode for you, because we're going to talk about how you can shift from a negative state or a lack state and move into that positive high frequency. But before we get started, we're going to take a few moments to slow down, zero in. We're going to take some deep, healing, meditative breaths to help us align on the frequency that we want in our lives. So you can pick a word. It could be love, joy, happiness, abundance, whatever frequency you want. And we're going to take a deep breath in. And as you're breathing in, you're going to say that word over and over and over again. Really charge yourself up with that energy. And then as you're holding your breath, visualize yourself doing something in that frequency, and then once you exhale, anything that no longer resonates with you will leave you and you'll be in a more positive state. So let's go ahead and take a deep breath in. And out. Well, we're going to do another deep breath. This one is about alignment, about getting ourselves in receiving mode so that we can receive the message that we need to hear today to get us in that positive perspective. So just imagine that you are surrounded by the most healing, uplifting energy that's meant specifically for you. It could have a certain color, a certain taste, a certain smell, however you imagine it. And when you breathe it in, it's going to charge you up. It's going to break down the negativity, the blocks, the weight, everything that's just been holding you back. And then once you exhale, anything that no longer resonates with you will leave you and you'll be in a more positive state. So let's go ahead and take another deep breath in. And out. So sometimes for these messages, I have to look outward. I observe life, I see what's going on, and that's what gives me the inspiration. Sometimes I have to go inward. I reflect, I meditate, I really just analyze feelings, observations, just everything within my mind and energy. And then other times, it's really just about being in the moment and seeing what I need and then turning that into a lesson that we can share. I believe the ultimate path, the ultimate experience is trying to be the highest version of yourself and then giving that to the world. Now that can take many forms, and we might talk about that later in this episode. But what I mean by that is this is how growth happens. You see, there's going to be times that you feel good. There's going to be times that you feel motivated. There's going to be times that you feel inspired. A lot of times it's when you first start something, when you decide to make a change, when you discover a new podcast, or you join a new gym, or you start a new diet, or you get in a new relationship, there's this energy around it that really starts pushing us forward. But that's not always going to be the case. There are going to be days that are difficult. There's going to be times where you don't feel like doing it. There's going to be situations where there's no motivation. In fact, it's the opposite. It seems like the world or energy is pulling you away from what it is you're trying to create. For me, I have been working on my mindset. I have been working on my perspective, my energy, how I observe the world. That's what this podcast has turned into, and that's where it's going. It's something that I love to share. It's a bit of a business that I'm building, but ultimately, it's an exercise for me to raise my perspective. And a day like today, where I've been sick, I'm getting over some type of flu, I'm congested, I'm tired, it was a long day, we had doctor's appointments for the kids, and it was a lot. I did not want to do this episode. In fact, I didn't even have to, because I'm preparing for a trip coming up, and I've recorded some episodes in advance for when I'm traveling and I won't be able to record, or only be able to write, so that way the messages don't stop. And I've recorded a couple of extra just in case. So I have every reason to not do this episode. The bed was sounding nice. It was the perfect opportunity to take an early shower, to just relax and close my eyes and sleep. And although relaxation, repair, all those things are good, there is something to be said about pushing yourself when things are difficult. That's when the growth really happens. Now, in the scale of your experience, if you're dealing with a toxic situation right now, or you're dealing with something that feels like it's in your face right now, Maybe it's depression. Maybe it's anxiety. It's not just a moment, a quick sickness. If you start thinking that you are more than just this one experience, that you are a powerful energy here to grow, an energy that cannot be destroyed, it allows you to separate from the moment or even the past few years just a little bit. Everything is happening for you, even the difficult times. Every time I haven't wanted to do an episode, whether I was sick, I recorded while I had COVID. And that's not to say that I'm something special. And of course, there are some people that really had it bad and there's no way they could have. Fortunately for me, I had minor symptoms. I had a splitting headache. It was hard to talk. It would take me 2 hours to record a 10-minute podcast. But doing that, pushing myself through the difficult thing, gave me so much power on the other end. When you go through the thing that you're struggling with now, when you make it to the other side, that doesn't mean there won't be other struggles, other pains in the future, but you're just giving yourself that much more belief, that much more energy behind what it is that you're creating. Because when the going gets tough and you still push forward, you're telling the universe who you are. You're telling the world the energy that you're creating. And most importantly, you're proving to yourself that you get to dictate how you feel on the inside. It's not about recording the best podcast. It's not about having the best day at work. It's not about having the best workout or whatever it is that you have to push yourself through that one day. But it's about doing it with intention. About going in and saying, you know what? I'm not at my best right now, but I'm going to go in there and I'm going to try to have a positive attitude. I'm going to use all the tools that I've been building to make sure that I do the best that I'm capable of. Because in the end, it's never about the results. Somebody that earns a bunch of money in this lifetime is not better than someone else that doesn't. What truly matters is what they do with their internal state. That's what you take with you. That's what, when you go to bed at night, sticks with you. That's when you pass on the energy you give to the world, is the version of you that you create. That's where the fulfillment comes from. And that's where building the best gift comes from. I hope that the hardest thing I go through is recording a podcast with a cold. Unfortunately, that's not the case. There's going to be loss. There has been loss. There's going to be pain. There's going to be struggle. There's going to be heartache. But as I keep proving to myself, and as you keep proving to yourself, that the external world, no matter how difficult, no matter how challenging, is still operating for you to just experience, you to push energy through, for you to observe and find the light within that situation, find the healing in that situation. It's for you. At that point, it's serving you. It's still the gift. Time under tension is growth. Whether you're working out or building up your mental strength or leveling up your energy, the tension is where the strength happens. And tension will come and go. Some of it will be self-imposed, where you put yourself through certain things so you can grow. And then the universe, the world, will also provide it for you. Either way, it's still being provided for you. So the difficult time, I don't wish you have it. I wish you were past it. I don't want people to struggle. I don't want to see people going through difficult times. But it's so rewarding and it's so fulfilling when someone does go through it and they come out the other side and the beauty of them expands even more. Their energy, their love, their light expands even more. Imagine that feeling. Imagine you right now. You're going through the tough time. You're feeling the tension. It's difficult, but you decide this is going to serve me. You start practicing gratitude in these moments. You start looking for the good. You start leveling up your energy. You start practicing forgiveness and patience while it's hard. Then, through the law of attraction, you start seeing the things that you do want in your life. You start manifesting a different experience. You start changing your internal state so that outwardly it doesn't matter what's going on because you have peace within. And then you create this beautiful experience that you can give to the world. Imagine that for you. It's absolutely possible. The hard times are for you just as much as the good times are for you. It's just the internal state that dictates how we feel about them. So use it for your growth. know that you are more powerful than whatever it is that you're going through. And in the end, as you continue to rise, as you continue to heal, as you continue to forgive, as you continue to love, you become the rising tide that lifts all ships. Well, thank you so much for joining me on this episode. I hope it was motivating and gave you some perspective on life. We all go through different things, and it's not to compare one thing to the other, but what is difficult absolutely can give us growth. And I appreciate you bringing me along the journey. If you want to make sure you don't miss a single episode, make sure you subscribe to my email list. There's a link in the description. It will keep you up to date with every single episode. And if you want to follow me on social media, there's my Instagram and TikTok down below. I appreciate all the follows there. And then you can also join the Positive Mindset Facebook community. There's some really cool stuff being added right now. We're doing some lives, we're doing some challenges. There's some content coming to there as well. It's free. Give it a join. I can't wait to meet you there, have conversations, and really just create this community that's growing together. Well, thank you so much for listening. Have a great day, and I can't wait to talk to you next time.